What's up, everyone? We're on our way to Lake of the Ozarks to fish. What's up? We got 2 tournaments. So this is a weird, I don't think I've ever done this before. I have 2 back-to-back major events. So I got the Bassmaster Open, and then the following week I have a Toyota Series. So it's back-to-back weekends of Lake of the Ozarks. So I'm driving there now. It's about 9.5 to 10 hours. Now, I say these, I'm about to make multiple videos. I'm gonna try to do one every day while I'm here. Now, it's not gonna be like, I'm gonna show you every single thing that I'm doing on the water. I can't do that. Like, sorry guys, I like YouTube and I like everyone, but there's no way I'm showing what I'm doing in practice while I'm still practicing, right? I doubt anyone from this tournament's watching any of this. But if they did, and I did figure something out, I sure don't want to show it to the entire world. But I don't want to show it to freaking anyone. But it's not that I'm not going to show some things though, or talk about some things. How about that? I still think part of the problem with a lot of people, what they struggle with, is how do I practice for an event? How do you break down water? All these different things. There's 2 things to that. One is guys are trying to figure out how to break down water that they're not familiar with, right? And then there's the guys trying to figure out how to break down water that they are familiar with. Like, are they practicing right or wrong? Okay? This is kind of both, and here's why. So this is the stuff I struggle with. Not what I'm talking to you about, but I'm gonna give you a little background. So in the Opens, you know, we have an off limits now, which I think I had something to do with. I'm proud of the off limits too. We still get 5 days of practice. Now, even on lakes that I've never been to before, 5 days is way too much. For me, personally for me. Can't do it, don't want to do it, it's not good. I've never seen it really help. I've seen 4 days help. Most of the time though, 3 days is really all I need. Or what I think I need. So you feel sometimes when you have that 5 days of practice that you need to take all 5 days. I would say that's what most people do. Maybe it works for them. I don't know. I have to resist that urge because I'm the same way. I want to take those 5 days because they give them to you. And so you think that you need them. There's a lot of guys that feel this way. Like, there's some guys that go out there and spend 2 weeks on the lake. That doesn't work for me. I don't like that. I like to fish more in the conditions, in the moment, figure things out. I do so much better in tournaments, except a couple few tournaments here and there, sight fishing tournaments. Other than those, I really do so much better in tournaments when I figure things out. Not so much in practice. Like, I figure out a base thing to do in practice, but I do so much better when the tournament starts and me adjusting on the fly. I do better, always have. So it hurts me sometimes on where to start for tournaments. Me and Russell talk about that all the time in our team stuff, that the way we practice is great for multi-day events, and as a tournament progresses, we seem to get better. I seem to do better most of the time, but a lot of times we don't know how good starting spots are or where we're supposed to start because we don't really like dial in things too much. We kind of get an idea. Anyways, this lake is different and this tournament is different for this reason. I've been to Lake of the Ozarks. I've been here I don't know how many times. I'm thinking at least 4 to 5 times. Every time I've been here has been in October or September. And it's September right now. Most of the time it's like early October. I don't think this is the one lake I think I've ever been to that I've never made the top 10. I've had problems putting 2 days together. I've caught them good enough for checks and everything, other than maybe the first time here and almost every single event. So I've done good here. I like it here. there was one tournament where I had a chance where things didn't go, like I did good, but I lost 2 fish that tournament that would have put me in the top 3. Lost one the same day. One just came off. The other one got hung up on a cable, like a 5-pounder, and right off the bat in the morning, and it sawed the braid in 2 while it was hung up on the cable. Like, it was hung up, the fish was dangling halfway in, but it had enough slack, it was going around. A 50-pound braid, and I couldn't get to it fast enough, and as it was doing this, it eventually sawed itself off and got off. The other one just jumped off, like a pretty big one, like probably the biggest fish I've ever hooked to. Both in the same day. And still caught him that day. I still one of my bigger bags I've ever had, but I would have had like way over 20. So I know this place. I know what I like to do here. I understand how it fishes. Now, every year I come here, I didn't get here, and I told myself, like, you don't need 5 days here. So I'm not taking my 5 days. I'm taking basically, well, I would say 3, but really we have to be off the water by noon sometime, noon or 1 on the last day. So I'm not even getting, I'm getting 2.5 days. Every time I've ever come, or after the first time, and then the second time I came, I started putting things together. Every time I come after that, I don't care. I'm going to go do one thing. That's my main thing. Now, I can catch them flipping docks. I can catch them doing this and that. But I've learned some top water stuff, and I'm learning some different, deeper stuff. I'm going to go do those 2 things, for the most part, in the tournament. The top water stuff comes easy to me. Every year, though, I go and test it out. So this is where this comes into play. All I do is reconfirm what I already know. And I was like, don't do that this year. Because what happens is even though I don't hook them, I show it to them, I don't think anyone else, I've never run into anyone doing what I do. I usually have it all to myself. It's a giant lake, so it's no big deal. But I'm like, just don't do it. And it's so hard. I'm about to go fish a Bassmaster Open, and I'm pretty sure the first day I'm gonna go hit water that I will not practice and will never throw a bait on. I'm just telling you, I think that's how it's gonna go down. Even when I'm making this video, I'm trying to convince myself, just trust it. Trust what you've done. I know what it is. If it changes a little bit and I have to adjust during the tournament, it's what I do anyways. I'm already good at that. I like doing that. I feel comfortable changing and adjusting during the tournament. So just believe in it. Now, on a side note, I think I'm in 6th place overall in the Bassmaster Opens in the Central Division. Now, I'm not fishing all of them, okay? Just the Centrals. It doesn't matter. I've got 3 Angler of the Years this year, okay? There's a chance I could get a 4th one. But to be honest with you, if I got Angler of the Year in the Centrals, you know what I get? Nothing. I just get that title of Angler of the Year in the Centrals. Before, if you made a top 3, I qualify for the Elites. They've done that ever since I've been fishing the Opens, or at least that a division you qualify. This is the first year they don't, and I basically have one. If it was the case, I'd basically have one of the best shots I've ever had of making the Elites. I've made it before, but this would be, I'm right there. But it doesn't mean anything. I get nothing for it. 0. The only thing I really get for fishing this tournament, other than money and a check, is a chance at the Classic if I win. That's it. So I could bomb in this tournament, and other than losing money for the tournament side, there's nothing else I really gain. So I don't really care if I go try to, like, I'm not going out there to try to win this thing in the sense of, like, I know this way to win, or I could win or 0. No, I'm just gonna go fish that way. And, like, it doesn't matter if I do good or bad. It's not like I'm gonna go home either, because I gotta stay up here another week and fish the Toyota. So even if I do bad, I can practice a whole bunch the next week for the Toyota and Change it up. I don't know about y'all. That sounds really good. And even as I'm saying it, it sounds like I got this game plan. And I'm having to still talk myself into it because I'm like, man, just do it. It's not easy. It is not easy to go fish a lake 10 hours away. I haven't been here. They stopped having them in the fall. Like the Ozarks tournament, they started having them in like March. And I can't leave my home state of March where they're on bed spawning and it's awesome to come fish here at Lake of the Ozarks. And the last couple times they've had to break through ice. I'm not driving 10 hours to break through ice. Like where I'm sitting at home and it's like 70 degrees and they're all on beds and it's fun fish. Like, not gonna happen. So I haven't come for the last couple years. So it's not like I did this last year. It's been about 3 years, but that's what I'm gonna do. These videos though, I'm gonna try to make one every day. And what I'm gonna try to do, like I said, I am still fishing a lake. I'm familiar with because I've been here, but it's by no means some local lake. By no means, it's 10 hours away. I also kind of going to talk about like how I feel after my practice days. After hey, I figured something else out. Hey, I'm doing this. Hey, I think I figured out another pattern. Hey, this is what's going on in my head, what I see. I also, and I did this not on purpose, but it's just happened. When I switched over to Garmin, which has been freaking awesome, by the way, still awesome, love it. I never really went back and like switched over my waypoints. So to this day, and I will show you tomorrow when I'm on my graphs, I have 0 waypoints from Lake of the Ozarks. 0. I had 0 waypoints for Rayburn, Toledo. Every single lake. I didn't transfer a single waypoint all year long. So I have fished this whole year. There's not a single waypoint from any lake, and I'm okay with it. Like, I was a little. At first, I was like, I didn't have time to do it, and then I looked up and I'm like, whatever. I don't need it. Big deal. The stuff on Rayburn I can remember. Stuff on Toledo, and it makes history go away to a degree. It's let me not fish on history. It's pretty cool. So I am going to have to drive around the lake, because even though I have a pretty good memory, this lake is littered with boat docks. It's hard to look at the bank and remember features of the bank because you don't see the bank. You see houses and boat docks and tons of them. And I'll show you that. If you've never been to Lake of the Ozarks, and I think Andrew's here, it's his first time, and I tried to explain it to him. I'm like, hey dude, the lake is literally covered from inch to inch with boat docks, other than the glaze. It's from one end of the lake to the other. I need to look up the history on this thing, because I've seen it before where they talk about the miles of shoreline, like it's like an insane number, and the amount of boat docks. There's no other lake in the country that has this many boat docks, not even close. But even the shoreline on this lake is, when you hear the information on it, it's like mind-boggling. It's crazy. So I have to go off of memory, and a lot of times when you got your head down just fishing docks, like, and you go for miles doing this, right? It starts. It's not that they run together, but I am going to spend a couple of hours, maybe an hour or two, of driving up and down, re-familiarizing myself. I got it. With certain banks, certain stretches, and things like that. Because I will say, is some of them I've fished for 4 years, but every year I come here, I go pick out. I fish a lot of the same stuff, and then I practice other places. The problem with that, right, is like the newer places that I found the last time I was here, I don't remember them as well as the places I fished multiple times. So, because I'm always trying to learn more and more stuff. So I am going to have to go back and kind of like, re-remember some of those places. So I'm going to go do that a little bit tomorrow. I think it'll all come back to me like that. It's not a scary thing. I'm just saying it's going to be interesting. And here I am going to make a video, and I'm going to put these all out. So like, I don't know. I might do all this and then come tournament 0. It's a lot easier to make videos after you've done good, right? I mean, that's easy. It's very hard to do them during it, not knowing the outcome. I mean, I could fall on my face. Now, I did one Gunnersville. When I did good in Gunnersville, I kind of made some videos leading up to it. And I did another one somewhere where I had done good before I made the cut and talked about it, going, man, am I jinxing myself, right? So I could be. And guys, I've been driving. I'm finally in Osage Beach. I got 26 minutes before I hit my destination, my buddy's house. And that's cool. My buddy that I've stayed with up here a bunch, and he's still letting me stay here. And I was like, dude, I'm about to be a roommate for like the next 12 to 13 days. And he's like, come on. So I was like, all right. So, and I say all this because I'm now seeing trucks and boats pass by. Like I said, I've been on the road all day. So that's what this is all about. It's kind of there'll be some fishing stuff and some things, I think, maybe. I don't really know. I'm just telling you, this is my thought process. I've had 10 hours. I haven't thought about this the whole time. I mean, I've talked to Hallman for 2 hours a day, Russell, Andrew, my boys at freaking Jones Marine. I stopped by there, and they were showing me the cool stuff they have there. They got the next best thing. I didn't even know about it. And they got that thing there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the next best thing, call up Jones Marine Electronics and ask them about it. Obviously, I've been living underneath the rock. I don't know, maybe everyone knows about it. This thing is like, it might be the next best thing. It's pretty wild. That's all I'm gonna say. Check that out. So, yeah, man. I'm just gonna kind of give you my preview of like what's going on in my head as practice unfolds, what I think, be a little fishing stuff in there. Maybe I can do this every day, leading up all the way through the tournament. Then after the tournament, tell you, and then what's going to be cool is I can take, good or bad, whatever happens after this event, right? I've got another event right afterwards. And so that's kind of what made me think about doing this, because like good or bad, I'm gonna have to change something. Even if I win, there's no way I think you can win back-to-back events doing fishing the exact same thing. Like I'm gonna have to change. I just think you have to. So even if by chance I win, you know, I'm still gonna sit up here now. If I win, dude, I'm taking a day off. I'm about to celebrate, at least for a day. Stay off the water for a day. When I say celebrate, I don't know, that might be just like hanging around the house and not doing anything. I don't know. But yeah, am I about to drive over the lake? Yeah, yeah, this is the lake. Knew it. So here we go. Hopefully y'all can see it in the background. I don't feel like grabbing that camera while oh, it's all coming back to me now. Just like, man, that's the glaze. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. Oh, I'm excited. The only problem, I will say this, there's certain lakes that I don't mind fishing on for a while. This is one of them. I will not get tired of this place. I can fish this thing for 10 or 12 days, every day, 10 hours a day, and not get tired. Certain lakes, I would. That's the only thing about not getting up here and using the 5 days. The 5 days would be fun for me. Like this is an awesome lake. I love it. I would not get tired. But I also like, okay, even after this, let's see. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event. I would still have to fish Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so I'd still get 4 more days of practice before the Toyota. So even if I get 3 days of practice and 2 to 3 days of the event, that's 5, and then I'll have another 6 days. So I'm fishing no less than 11 days out here. That's the minimum. Unless I just happen to take a day off. So still getting a lot of time on the water. I'm gonna know this place fairly good. But I'm gonna do some different things. That's what I was talking about. I'm gonna trust that I know how to catch them a certain way, and I'm just gonna trust that. He's gonna allow me to go out there and do different things all through practice. And if I figure something else out, it's just bonus. Right? I might figure out something like phenomenal. Might go live scope a lot. Might go fish crazy. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to try to do fish really different. I think, and I've been convincing myself this, but I've been telling this to everyone. Everyone's like, man, how many days did you practice for this event? And I'm like, but fishing boat docks? Oh man, like, 23 years. And they're like, what? I'm like, I've been fishing boat docks for 23 years. I started off my career fishing boat docks. I grew up on a lake, nothing but boat docks. Now they weren't floating boat docks like Lake the Ozarks, but my point is, I've been practicing boat docks since I was a kid. I know it wasn't on Lake of the Ozarks, but that's why I always tell everyone, I'm like, man, if you've been fishing a long time, even though you haven't been to a lake, you've been practicing. You've been pre-fishing. I already know how to go throw a topwater. I don't need to go throw a topwater for 12 hours a day. I already know how to do that. I already know how to fish docks, right? There's certain things out here that fishing has changed. I'm going to try different things. And so that's why I always say is that, like, it's okay to be open-minded and try. I think most people, like, they go pick their strengths. There's nothing wrong with that, but they do it the entire time of practice and they don't open up to new things. And really in the back of their head, and I guarantee anyone listening is like, yeah, man, I would go do that. Like, if all else fails, you're going to go lean on your strengths of what you're good at. You're not going to go, if you never got on fishing practice, it's not like you're going to go out there and do something you've never done fishing before. No, you're going to be like, hey man, I'm really good throwing a crankbait. I'm going to put my head down and throw a crankbait, right? Like, that's what you would do. That's what you, good or bad, you're going to rely on what you're good at. So I'm like, all right, let's not rely on that in practice. Let's try it's coming in hot. Let's try other things and see what happens. And just trust your gut that what you've done in the past is good. I've always caught them here like that, so I'm going to trust that. And we'll see. I don't know. Stay tuned. I think this will be interesting. Yeah. All right. See y'all guys